Are you having a hard time getting in all the protein you need to get after weight loss surgery? Are you struggling to figure out how to do it right? In this video, I am going to give you my top 5 strategies for getting in enough protein to stop struggling and to be able to hit your goals. My name is Diana Lopez. I am your bariatric dietitian / nutrition coach at My Bariatric Adventure, the place where we guide you as you navigate the twists and turns of your bariatric adventure. So let's dive in. Now we're going to dive in. I'm going to give you my top 5 strategies to make sure you're getting in all your protein, and then stick around a little bit longer because at the end I'm going to give you a couple bonus strategies, and as always I've got a freebie for you as well. Let's dive in. My top 5 strategies to get in enough protein. Number 1 is to start early. So you may not have ever been someone that is a breakfast eater. You're not ready to eat in the morning. I've heard all sorts of things from all sorts of people, but what I've seen in my practice is that if you don't start getting your protein in early in the day, especially in those first few months after surgery, you're really going to struggle to hit your goals. So I encourage you to look at how can you start getting your protein up earlier in the day. Does that mean drinking a protein shake? Does that mean eating leftovers from dinner before? Does it mean, maybe you scramble up a couple eggs and you pop them in the microwave once you get to work? Does it mean doing hard-boiled eggs? Does it mean having a little cup of yogurt? What does that look like for you? So I encourage you, first thing in the morning, once you get up, some of us have pills that we have to take that they need, an hour or so before we can eat anything else. So make sure you plan that into your morning and then find a way to get protein in first thing in your day. Ideally, what we're looking for is 20 to 30 grams of protein at a meal. But if you're struggling to get in protein, you might be struggling just to get in, 7 to 10 grams of protein at a meal. So if that is where you're at, you just start with where you're at. Strategy number 2, that is to use protein shakes where you need to. So you may have slacked off from that. Maybe you have a little bit of taste fatigue because you've been doing the same flavor, same brand of protein shake from before surgery to months after surgery. I would encourage you to try out some different protein shakes or powders to find something that works for you and with your taste buds. So if you're struggling with that, go back and look at our video that we created for how to choose a protein supplement. We'll give you some tips and ideas of what to look for on the nutrition label, and I also give you some examples of brands that you can try. All right, so that strategy number 2 is drinking those protein shakes where you need to get your protein up. Strategy number 3 is to eat protein-centric snacks. So when you're having your snacks, we want to make sure you're getting protein with meals, but we also want to make sure that with your snacks, you're adding protein. So what does that look like? It could be maybe a little bit of hummus with some veggie sticks. It could be cheese with maybe an ounce of cheese, a cheese stick with a little, like a 3 or 4 whole grain crackers, like a Triscuit, a Wassa, a Crunchmaster. It could be lunch meat and cheese rolled up together. It could be a stick of jerky. It could be a couple hard-boiled eggs, and then you could pair it up. For me, with snacks, I like to pair the protein. More often than not, I'm going to try to pair it up with either a fruit, a vegetable, or some sort of nut. So that would be how I would look at pairing up proteins. So make sure that you're having those protein-centric snacks, all right? And then strategy number 4 is to carry those protein snacks, protein drinks, and protein bars with you wherever you go. So if you're out running errands and the day's a busy day, pack a little bit of cooler. Put your water in there, put a couple protein shakes in there, put a protein bar, put your protein snacks in there. So wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, you've got it in that little kit, in that little cooler. And same thing applies if you're somebody that drives a truck, if you're somebody that drives as your way of making income for your family in your home, you can also pack a cooler in there so you got that with you wherever you go. And with protein bars, if that is something that you're interested in, we made a protein bar video to help you to be able to choose the right protein bars for you. And I'll put the link in for that protein bar video so you can watch that as well. All right, so that is strategy number 4. So strategy number 5, our last of our first 5 that I've got for you, is to start measuring things out. So if you are pre-surgery, maybe you don't have any experience with measuring and weighing food, I would start doing that so you can have an idea of how much protein you're taking in, because you might find, and this doesn't apply just to people before surgery, but during that first year after surgery, or if you're long after surgery, what I found working with people is that, and I'm guilty of this myself, that after I have eaten the same kind of portion size of something for a while, I'll just kind of eyeball it, and then over time my portion sizes can either get bigger or get smaller. So what I would encourage you to do is start weighing and measuring things again to see where you're at, so you have an exact picture of what you're doing. That is my last of my top 5 strategies for how you can make sure that you're getting enough protein every day and hitting your goals. I promised you a couple bonus strategies and a freebie. So let's talk about those bonus tips. Number 1 of our bonus is to use cottage cheese or Greek yogurt as a base for dips, dressings, and for any sort of sauces that you're making. So recently, what I did is I took a little carton of cottage cheese and I mixed it up with a little bit of milk and a little bit of dry seasoning dip powder, and we use that for our veggies. So a veggie dip might go from 1 or 2 grams of protein. Depending on your serving size, you could go up to 8 or 9 grams of protein with that veggie for your dip. So you could do that for a fruit or a vegetable dip. So maybe for fruits, I would use maybe a Greek yogurt, maybe like a strawberry Greek yogurt or plain Greek yogurt, and blend in a few strawberries or oranges or something to give it flavor, and use that for my base for my dip. You can also do the same thing. Get on Pinterest. There are recipes for Alfredo sauce that use cottage cheese as a base, and that will significantly decrease the calories and the fat content and will bump up the protein content for you. So you can get a little bit creative to see what's out there, to sneak in a little bit of protein here and there to help you meet your needs. All right. So that's bonus strategy number 1. Bonus strategy number 2 is to add your protein shake or protein powder in the different things that you're already consuming to get your protein up. So what you might want to do is, if you drink coffee, if you make overnight oats, if you are eating cereal, if you are making waffles and pancakes, those are great places to add in a little bit of your protein shake or powder to bump up the protein content. So coffee is an easy one. You just, if you're using cream and sugar, you just can add that liquid protein shake to it. One tip I would probably give you with that is protein powder and protein liquids. If your coffee is too hot, it will curdle. So it'll clump up on the top and you'll never be able to get that to mix in. So with coffee, if you're using a liquid protein shake, what I would encourage you to do is let your coffee cool down, or maybe you put a little bit of ice in there to get it to room temperature or like lukewarm. Add your protein shake, put it in the microwave, stir it up, and then keep warming it up until it gets back to the right temperature for you. That is one way you can avoid that curdling. Or if you're using a protein powder, I would recommend using a brand like Quest that is actually meant for baking, and it won't curdle up. When I was using protein powder in my coffee, they have a great salted caramel, and I would add about half a scoop into my coffee. It would mix up really well, and it would keep me full, for longer than just drinking a regular cup of coffee, and I knew I was getting my protein in. So that's something you can do for that. If maybe you're before surgery and you're still eating cereal, you can add that protein shake, a vanilla protein shake, to your cereal, and that's going to bump up the protein in your cereal. So long term, we have you limit carbohydrates a little bit. So long term, that might not be the best option for you. But if you're struggling to get protein in and you're already eating cereal, that would be a great way to do it. If you are maybe on Saturdays and Sundays, you're making waffles and pancakes for your family, what we do is we'll add one whole egg. We'll substitute the water for milk because cow's milk has protein in it, and then we might add a dry protein powder to the mix, and no one knows the difference. I do that all the time when I make waffles and pancakes. They turn out great. No one knows the difference with that. So that would be my second recommendation or second strategy for you to help you get in that protein that you need. And then the last thing I'll recommend to you, or I'll talk to you about, is my top 5 strategies for success after weight loss surgery. It's a freebie that I want to give to you, and I will provide that in the link below, so you can grab that, and then you can sign up to be part of our community. And a couple times a week, I send out a newsletter with practical advice, so tips and things that you want to know after weight loss surgery or as you're preparing for weight loss surgery. And then I also send you encouragement throughout the week as well, because it can be a tough journey, especially if you're walking this road by yourself, and we want you to get the help and encouragement you need. All right, so one last thing, if this video is working for you, please subscribe and like this video so it gets pushed out to more people, so we can help and serve more people on their bariatric adventure. All right, thanks so much. Take care, and I'll see you soon.